June 14th, 2024 was the official release date for Modern Horizons 3. And now it's time, after over 30 days, to see what's actually going on in the market space and if our money was well spent. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you felt it was money well spent. I hope you enjoyed the spoiler season. I hope you had a good time at the pre-release, all the way up to the official release date for Modern Horizons 3, because now that the party's over, we get to dissect and take a look what the damage really is. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out with me on my channel today. And a reminder, if you're new to the channel, if you like hanging out with the Moxman, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bell. I put out new content every single day. And thanks again to everyone out there, because we just went over 23,000 and it's amazing. So thank you again, everyone. We'll talk about that more on the live stream this weekend, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now let's get back to serious stuff, which is Modern Horizons 3. This was an expensive set. This was a run-up to a time when players looked at the price tag, which was the same pretty much for Modern Horizons 2, but people just felt differently about what was going on with this set. And although it's only 45 days since its release, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than most players are probably aware of, as you've already moved on to things like Bloom Burrow, we've looked at Assassin's Creed, we've even jumped back in time, not that far, to look at Fallout again, because it's still doing okay. But what's going on with Modern Horizons 3? Even though we have more sets still coming, we've got to take a look at where this product is, because some of the prices might be a little shocking to you. So let's take a look here at the first one, and that is collector booster boxes. You can see here, I did a mid to late day type of run through on this. It sold one box today on TCG Player, and you can see going backwards 5-6 boxes a day. Somebody bought 6 the one day. It's not selling well. To be honest, it's selling really badly. It's not doing well at all. Nobody's basically touching the product, and even the people probably buying it, maybe they're opening it, but in most cases it might be people who just want to put one up on the shelf because the sales are so low and so slow on this product. Because is it worth it to open? Are we at that point where the cards are worth the value of opening them and taking a chance, the gambler's premium of maybe getting some good cards? Well, you have to take a look around and see what's going on, not just on TCG Player, of course. We got to look at other places. Now, when you take a look and see that price tag, and you see $417, okay, $99. Now, we've seen it cheaper already. I just showed you an image that had lower prices, okay, than what you just saw. But when you jump over and I look at a local store, here in Canada, it's still $599.95, okay, for one collector box. But look at the Play Booster box. That's $389.99. Look at what's going on with the bundle packs. Guys, this is still an extremely expensive product. If I take a look and see what's in stock, look at the Eldrazi Incursion deck. $249, still commanding a premium, but here's the thing, it's not selling anything. Okay. Now, of course, you could fine-tune that, and you could say, yeah, there is some sales. You're lying, Moxman. This isn't right. But let's be real. For all the players in Magic out there right now, for all the people who play this game, they are not directing their cash toward Modern Horizons 3. They've bought the singles. They've picked up the cards they want. They are not willing to pay $249 for the Eldrazi Incursion deck because they know what the price was before, on the pre-order. Your price memory, it is an evil thing that will remind you of all the good deals and bad deals you've had, but it also will stop you from making mistakes in your pocketbook, and that would be one of them, because there's no way that price should be that high. But because it's still priced that way, people aren't going to buy it. Now, that was $249 Canadian, but still, even taking out 30%, do you want to pay that? Not likely. You'd go for the singles. Now, if we're talking about Modern Horizons 3 singles, they kind of flooded the market. Look at what's going on with the medallions. Look how low those cards went. Look at the drop-off. It's like a cliff. Ah! Everyone can afford them now. They flooded the market. they are available. And if we take away these serialized cards from this set and we just take a look at two of the most expensive cards, let's take a look here at the Ocelot Pride Borderless Modern Horizons 3, $59.98. I mean, that's not a bad price, is it? I mean, I know people who've paid higher than that here in Canada to get that card. Now, if I show you the next one, which be, yes, you're right, it's Ulamog the Defiler. And that's $63.27. Okay, so you've taken a look at these two amazing cards. But I did not show you the individual sales data for those cards because they're too low. There's nothing exciting, nothing market moving, and the players who can afford to buy those cards for their modern decks have already done so. And that means the cards that are out there now are not really sought after. Unless players are trading in for value, trading up to the Ocelot or to Ulamog, the players who don't have that type of cash flow to buy the expensive cards and never bought Modern Horizons 3 anyway, will now have to sit and watch that card do nothing. The players who own it, great, exciting. The players who don't aren't going to buy one anyway. So now you're going to see this stuff start to stockpile. It's going to start appearing inside of trade binders. It's going to be on store shelves. And it's not going to do a lot. Even though it's doing well in Modern, you still have to have an audience that can afford to buy the product and sees the future value of those products. And when you have the disconnect that Wizards of the Coast has with the speed of their products, the pricing point of their products, it is hard for a player to see the hidden value inside that future product, the individual cards, and the resale value of selling that off to an LGS or to another player or some other trading platform of some type. This is where we find ourselves in a disconnect with Wizards of the Coast as a company, because we love their products. Most players I know will comment on how great the products are now. Ocelot Pride is great. These are great cards. They're fun. Yeah, there's some power creep in there. It's still exciting. But that price point now doesn't just make you kind of take a second glance. It makes you leave the room and just engage with products you believe you can afford. And even though it's an amazing card, you'll just try to find a workaround if you're playing against that deck, especially if you're not in a competitive environment and you're not trying to compete on a global stage for Magic the Gathering. Remember, only so many people can afford to buy 4 Ocelot Pride or 4 Ulamog the Defiler. That's a $200, $300, $400 investment, and when you know it's getting reprinted, players will step back. They won't buy it, and they'll just say, ah. And this is where reserve list players, by the way, those people you all hate, you're like, reserve list collectors, they feel nothing at all. Because they buy reserve list cards, and they love it. And if they happen to buy some of these cards, they're just carefree because they realize it's going to get reprinted. And they never expected it not to. But everyone out there always finds it kind of a shocker when they do what they did to the medallions, where the medallions were in Tempest, and they're like a little $30 card, and now it's a couple of bucks. And people can buy play sets for like, what, $20? You can get a full play set of the borderless full art ones, which are gorgeous. The artwork is fantastic on the cards. Modern Horizons 3 has a lot going on. But the secondary market value is now done. It's dead. The people who bought it own it and are playing with it. People are picking up some singles at a very slow rate, I might add. And the stuff that's still sitting on the shelves is now going to stay there. Just like the backdrop of stuff I got here, this stuff doesn't do anything anymore. It sits there on a shelf. Looks awesome, great memories, good times. But understanding that everything's going to get reprinted and understanding it's probably not worth it, that's where you'll find yourself. Now, the upside. The upside. There is always a silver lining to all this bad news about the product sitting on shelves or people getting decapitated in value of buying this product sealed, especially collector box, and the play booster boxes, and just not even getting half their money back. It happens all the time. You took the chance. But at least a lot of these singles are now readily available. A lot of these cards are there, and a lot of the values did go down. Things like Emrakul, the World Anew and stuff, that card went from like $80 down to like $40. That's a pretty good deal. That's great for people who can now kind of wiggle their way up to those cards and own them and play with them and enjoy them for years and decades to come, which a lot of Magic players do. They're not competitive. They play in a social aspect, and they get together every Friday night, and that's what they like to do, and that's amazing. It's going to end up in Commander decks for years to come, even better, because let's face it, as much as this was a Modern set, it really was a Commander set. It was Commander Masters 3. That's the easiest way I can put it, because of all these cards seem geared to Commander. But I'll be waiting to see, after this, about another 30 to 40 days out. No, I'm not expecting any price reductions. I really think they did tighten up the print runs, and I also believe the stores aren't taking nearly the beating they have in the past. I know a few stores have heavy bags. I know they're carrying a lot of the product, but I still don't expect a mass exodus of like discounted sales. Maybe some stuff at Christmas time where they can afford to take a little bit off the top just to try and move a few units and get their pocketbook a little bit lighter and ready for the new year. But that's about it. And we'll talk about that the closer it gets to that time frame. Anyway, thanks again for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. Drop some comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And have you been watching what's happening with Modern Horizons 3 as closely as I have? Because it's a real telling of future high-end products and what we can come to expect. Thanks a lot for being here. Shop smart, shop S-Mart. And don't forget, it's the one in the car we want. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hey guys, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons of this channel. Because of those patrons, daily uploaded content is made possible. So thanks again to my patrons, my YouTube membership members, and the regular viewers of this channel. Guys, it is epic. I can't wait to see what happens when we finally get to the 24,000 and then on to the 25,000 subscribers. Thanks. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. You got your backstage pass. You have been admitted in to a very special little conversation. Wizards of the Coast is unlikely to learn the lesson that they need to learn. Following a better reprint schedule, evaluating their products more closely to the secondary market is always a good thing, but what they've done is they have priced themselves out of many customers who would normally have bought products like that if they didn't fear the cards getting reprinted too quickly. Reprinting is okay. It needs to happen. But they reprint copies of Monopoly. It's still $25 for a copy of Monopoly. You guys are still at Wizards of the Coast trying to charge $600 a box. And when you do a reprint, you're still making a $600 box. But the value went down next to nothing. And I don't have to get rid of that old Monopoly game if it still works, do I? Wizards has got to tighten the reins a little bit here and come up with a better way of doing things that allows the players to retain more value in a longer term way that can just justify in our minds of buying more expensive products, because these are a pricey item to buy now. In today's market where things are so tight and everything is being counted, every penny is there, man, and you need it. So if you want to buy products like this, Wizards is technically pricing out part of their audience that used to be able to afford products like this. It is what it is. And if you're all thinking the secondary market's going to like, hey, it's okay, I can still get the cards in the secondary market. That's right, but to a smaller and smaller base because the cards crash so quickly. Guys, thanks for being here. Shop smart, shop S-Mart.